Hello. Alright, so, let me finish. Sorry. Alright, so, welcome back again. You know the drill. I talk about comics, and this week, sorry, there's quite a few to talk about. So, let's just jump right in with Secret Avengers number 28. I love the idea of the book when it first started. I love Ed Brubaker's writing, but ever since then it's gone downhill. Brubaker's wasn't his strongest run. Warren Ellis took it over. Someone else was before him, but I don't remember who. But it hasn't been that steady of a book, I don't feel. And this is more about Captain Marvel's return than Quick Death, and how Miss Marvel's going to become Captain Marvel. She shows up as Binary here for a couple pages. In all honesty, unless you really know the history of Miss Marvel, this issue kind of sucked, because I didn't even know who Binary was, and it wasn't that good. All right, Catwoman 10. The book started out great, kind of gone downhill a little bit. I enjoyed a little bit of a look into Selena Kyle's psyche, find out she gets taken as a child or something. She was taken and kidnapped, and bad things happened to her. That kind of helped make her what she is today. We also find out that that someone close to her isn't what they seem, and she starts to get an alliance with a certain cop. So, I mean, it has promise to pick up, I think, but I don't know. I'm at least stick with it 2 more issues before I decide. Batman Beyond Unlimited, number 5. The only real memorable thing is the second part to Warhawk, the Justice League Beyond's version of Hawkman slash Hawkgirl, his origin, and then the Joe Chill of this universe. John Chill, Jake Chill, something Chill, who actually killed Terry's parents, made him a lot like, or Terry's dad anyway, made him somewhat like Bruce. So they both have a chill, and you find out there, and there's something coming up with that. Alright, Suicide Squad, number 10. I picked this up originally because just the Resurrection Man crossover, but I've decided to continue it because DC announced they're canceling Resurrection Man. Those fucks. So, he's supposed to appear. They said after the crossover they might be doing that. There was a good chance they'd be doing more with Resurrection Man in this title. So hopefully he'll pop up in this book. But this issue set it up with a Harley Quinn comes back. As you know, it says right here, Harley Quinn returns. So she's coming back to the team finally, and you find out there's a traitor in their midst. That's the big reveal. It's kind of a good, good little one shot that then sets up with that there's a traitor. The best part I feel was a character from early on in the run of the series called Yo-Yo got eaten by the shark, King Shark, because he just can't control his hunger, so gets eaten, and Yo-Yo pops back up, which is kind of cool. Next up, New Avengers 27. When Bendis writes the Avengers books, isn't writing the big crossover in the Marvel Universe, which is currently Avengers vs. X-Men, when it isn't just his writing, usually those big crossovers, usually, as I've read more and more, the only things I've really enjoyed, at least for here recently, ever since Siege, when the Heroic Age started. The Heroic Age, everything he's doing with the Avengers since then, I just haven't really enjoyed, and I hate to say it. And for Fear itself, the crossovers for the tie-ins, for the Avengers and New Avengers just weren't that good. I mean, there was one about Squirrel Girl protecting the Avengers mansion, and that's it. And that was somewhat memorable. They haven't been since. And now this, for the Avengers crossover, in all honesty, hasn't really been that good either. It's been okay. But New Avengers, a lot like Secret Avengers, ties in with Avengers vs. X-Men. I mean, Secret Avengers, has to do with the plot to try to stop the Phoenix. This, and it didn't work, clearly, but this really is just telling the history of Iron Fist and how Hope, looks like this ancient Iron Fist person, and here's Hope, and Spidey all of a sudden has to train her, and the only thing he tells her is his great slogan, which, I mean, it was a cool scene between them, so it was kind of interesting, but I'm just not, it was okay, let me put it that way. It was the last couple pages is what made it good. Other than that, eh. I don't know. I'm seeing kind of down on a lot of my comics here recently. I don't know why I keep getting them. Anyway, Red Hood and the Outlaws 10. This one's a book I've always enjoyed. There was 2 issues there where it kind of went down, but it didn't ever get bad. I mean, none of these books are bad, but this always kind of stood out. At least there's something funny going on. This, we're learning more about Starfire's new background and how she commands a warship called the Starfire, and they come and get her because they need her for a big intergalactic battle. And so that seems like it's gonna be pretty interesting. All right, Avengers versus X-Men number 6, the big title. In the last issue, 5 X-Men were possessed by the Phoenix power, and now it's time for to find out what they've done with their power, which is basically world peace. But the Phoenix has always got something else going on, and the Avengers might figure that they know something's going to happen. It has to. It always has. It's going to again. So they try to go get Hope again, and they succeed, and they're almost killed until the Scarlet Witch steps in and pulls them out right in the last minute with Hope, who no longer wants to stay with the X-Men because even though she's been told she can leave, she just can't bring herself to do it. And until the Avengers come and get her, she doesn't want to go with them, but she's decided she wants to leave. And now, she does want to go with them. Sorry, Cyclops doesn't want to let her, and so he's about to stop them all until the Scarlet Witch pops up and says, "Who's the only person who can hurt Scott? Cyclops, who's possessed by the Phoenix Force." It's good but confusing at the same time. Next up, Winter Soldier number 7. Not last month. 2 weeks ago's issue was great. It had to do with the last Bucky that wasn't Bucky, if you know what I mean. The last person to pose as Bucky when Bucky was dead was killed in a very violent way. Brought Bucky's attention. This is his aftermath, and Bucky's on the hunt, and so the guy who's hunting him decides to go after someone else. And he goes after Black Widow here. That's Bucky. Black Widow. So it's good. I've really enjoyed Winter Soldier. Brubaker is doing great. Sad to learn Brubaker's leaving Captain America at the end of the year. Issue 19 is his last issue. They haven't announced who's taking over, which I'm kind of weary. The guy who's writing the other Cap book, Captain America, and Iron Man, Hawkeye, just whoever they want to put with him, I don't like, so I'm worried about that. But so far, my pick of the week is Nightwing number 10. It was good. It starts a new story called, I think, The Tomorrow People. It's just because finally Nightwing seems to be going out on his own. I mean, yeah, the start of the book, he seemed like he was out on his own, but then it all tied into the Night of the Owl storyline, which was cool. But I'm curious to see what Nightwing can do all by himself. So I'm looking forward to the way this is going to go. Now, my Blast from the Past pick, since Brubaker's leaving, I decided to stick with something that made him, what made his name in the comic industry, and that's the death of Captain America. Now, this isn't the trade, because I don't have the trade. I have all the issues. And this is the cover to number 25 that started it all. Sorry if it's glaring off my computer screen. There we go. That's the best I can do. It started everything. It ran from issue 25 to 42. There were 3 parts. The death, and then Bucky taking over, and then Bucky breaking up the plot of the Red Skull who orchestrated everything. It was one of the better Captain America stories I've read, and I really suggest picking that up.